Fate as a series is sick and easily one of the most expansive franchises out there. I love it, and you should absolutely get into it, but if you already clicked on this video, then I guess you don't really need me to tell you that. Now, something that's often complained about is the watch order, and I get it. I was in the same boat. I mean, all the clips that I saw looked sick, but I had no idea how to get into it. It was so daunting with so many different entries. But the biggest thing to realize is that Fate is essentially a huge multiverse, similar to like Marvel or DC, where there could be several different versions of the same character or even the same story, because they all take place in different realities. There could very well be a character who died in one iteration that you see beating the brakes off everybody else in a sequel. Think of it like different routes in a choose-your-own video game. The story and by extension the reality change based off the different choices made. My goal today is to break it down as simple as possible and give you the most coherent route to follow. But before we get started, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell because we are going crazy in 2026 on this channel and it would support me a lot. Now, there are two different starting points you can choose from. You got Fate Stay Night 2006 or Fate Zero, which is the prequel to the Stay Night route. If you choose to start with Fate Stay Night 2006, then your path following this would be Ufotable's Unlimited Blade Works into the Heavensfield movie trilogy, and then starting Fate Zero. The reason for this being that Fate Stay Night 2006, Unlimited Blade Works, and Heavensfield all follow different routes of the same Holy Grail war with the same protagonist. Now, the second one and the path that I personally went down was starting with Fate Zero. Primarily because Stay Night 2006 is frankly not great, and myself along with many others tend to discourage it for newcomers just getting into the series because it's likely to leave a sour first impression. And I know I said it's the same Holy Grail war and the same protagonist, but a lot of the iconic voice actors are different for this one specific entry, as well as the animation being significantly worse, the overall tones and vibes just being clunky and awkward. Now, starting with Fate Zero, I would just go straight on to Unlimited Blade Works and then Heavensfield, because while 2006 does give arguably better context than Zero, Zero still does a pretty decent job of letting you know what's going on, making it pretty easy to just kind of skip 2006. I should also state that as far as the timeline goes chronologically, despite the source material for the entire Stay Night route being released before Fate Zero, the anime for Fate Zero was actually released before Unlimited Blade Works and Heavensfield and takes place 10 years prior, making it line up very well. Essentially, Stay Night 2006 and Fate Zero are both good at giving context, but if you start with 2006, you may as well finish the Stay Night route before moving on to Zero, but you could also just choose to watch Zero instead of 2006, because it's just better. Now, probably the biggest con about watching Zero first is you'll end up going into Unlimited Blade Works with the knowledge of someone being a villain before the twist actually happens, but personally I wasn't affected too much by it, and it actually made watching their interactions even more interesting. Though I guess watching Stay Night first would also ruin that twist for Zero, so it's a matter of just picking which one you prefer, although I would say personally Zero hit harder because of the way it was executed. So to reiterate, your two routes are either Stay Night 2006 into Ufotable's Unlimited Blade Works, then the Heavensfield movie trilogy, and then Fate Zero. Or you could start with Fate Zero, then go straight to Unlimited Blade Works, and then the Heavensfield trilogy. Personally, I'd suggest the second option, but it's up to you. As for the other installments like Apocrypha, Grand Order, Strange Fake, whatever else, you can kind of just watch them in any order after you're done with the Stay Night and Zero routes, because they're all different timelines and realities with completely different continuities and stories, so you can just kind of go crazy. Anyways, I hope this helped, especially with a lot of new hype coming around Fate with the release of Strange Fake this season. So if you enjoyed, once again, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell to keep up to date because we are going crazy this year. Thank you for watching. See you next time.